Do this and you'll love practice. There's a good phrase, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So I encourage our kids at camp and our weekly program as well, obviously. You know, you don't say things like, oh, coach is making me drill. No, I tell my kids this, if you don't like wrestling, quit. Just seriously, go quit. No one cares if you wrestle. No one cares. You know, my younger brother, he was he was a 2-time state champ, almost 3, and was cutting a lot of weight one year, and was being a jerk. You know, he was a sophomore. My dad said, just quit wrestling. He goes, what? He was like, quit. My dad's like, I don't care if you boys wrestle. I've never cared. I'm kind of tired of it. I kind of wish you would quit, you know? And Josh says that once, you know, my dad had a good way of putting it all on you. And that's what you want. You know, that's good leadership and good parenting. So Josh made way easy from that point on. And that's the same thing we're getting at here. So you don't say, oh, coach is making me drill. You know, I tell my kids to repeat this phrase to yourself, even though it sounds dorky. You know, you can even come up to me and say, hey, thanks, coach, for the drill session. You know, you gave me an opportunity to get better and accomplish my goals. Now, obviously, that does sound a little dorky. You're not probably going to say that, but that's what you should be thinking. When the weight room is open at 6:30 in the morning and you have class at 7:45 and you get to lift weights for, you know, 45 minutes to an hour before school, no one likes to do it. Well, most of us. I hate mornings, so I know I can't do it, or was not happy. I'm a better off in the evening guy. But, you know, if that's the only time you get to lift weights, like it was when I was in high school, we had to go and Coach Swafford opened the room for us. You know, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you could say, hey, thanks, Coach Swafford, for opening the weight room. I'm getting stronger. I'm going to get that state title this year. I mean, that just really puts you in a better vibe, in a better place. If you don't want to lift weights, don't. Be weak. Get your head ripped off. No one cares really but you. If you don't want to drill, fine. Go get tech fauled in front of the cute cheerleaders at the dual meet next weekend. You know, then go cry under the bleachers, right? No one cares but you. Maybe mommy, maybe daddy. Half the daddies don't. Half of them might. But it's really just put everything on yourself. But a lot of it's how you phrase things. So when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So certainly looking at training as a way to say, I love wrestling. I love being on the wrestling mat. I know a guy, he was an Olympic champion, and we were at the NCAAs and we were hanging out, and he's like, man, I just like being on the mat, you know? I like walking on the mat and feeling the wrestling mat under my shoes, you know? I like the wall pads, you know? I like walking in when guys are training. I just like the whole vibe and the whole atmosphere. And that's when you're going to really get great at wrestling. Learn to enjoy and embrace the sport that you signed up for and that no one is making you do. And erase those phrases from your mind like, oh, I have to lift weights, or oh, I have to cut 5 pounds before this weekend, or oh, Nick's making me hit 3,000 elbow passes the next 2 weeks, you know? Or, oh, we have to do the final drill. And I had kids last year try to skip that. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, obviously I don't let kids miss session at camp. I'm like, this is your opportunity to put on a show, right? We've had moms cry, seriously, because we invite the parents to watch the last practice. And we put the kids through the camp right before their parents' eyes and prove that we did the job and that the kids did the job that we were sent and hired to do. Like, this is your opportunity. But they got so down in the dumps that about 4 of them, they tried to miss the final practice. And I had to remind them of our little phrase, you know? Thanks, Nick, for inviting the parents into the room to watch me do the entire camp. I'm going to put on a show. I'm going to make people's jaws hit the floor. I'm going to look impressive, you know? And if you don't say that out loud, say it to yourself, because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a good mental state. So, good advice, I think. Hopefully it makes sense to you. Check us out at perlerwrestling.com. If we can ever help, you just let us know. You can find us there. And we have a 15,000 square foot privately owned training center. It's a campus, actually, we just opened. And maybe some of you would be interested in training at that campus. If not, keep in touch with our YouTube channel. Hopefully we can share a lot of great advice that helps you bridge that gap between the wanting and the doing, because you know that's where the drama is, and that's where the difficulty lies. So good luck to everyone.